folks, welcome back to Northwest Bushcraft. We've come out again for another weekend's camp. The weather's glorious here in Lancashire, it's not raining for once, and I've been fortunate enough to be sent up a load of stuff from DD Hammocks, and it's their new Superlight range and the underquilt that they've made. It's actually their own brand underquilt they've made. So we're going to be using it this weekend. So effectively it comes in several different formats. You can either buy just the tarp, just the mosquito net, just the hammock, or you can buy all three in this sort of action combo pack, I think they call it. So all I've done with this one is just velcro it onto two loops on the bottom of my pack. So we'll do a close-up now and show you how that comes on or goes off, and then we'll show you more about what's inside. Okay, so on the outside of the pack here, you've got DD Hammocks web logo there, and you've got 10 Molly webbing straps here. So undo the zip of the pocket, and then inside you've got this waterproof liner on the external side here, and then three pockets here. You've got one larger pocket here, and then two smaller ones here, so maybe sharpening system, sharpening stones, tinder kit, anything like that. Maybe even your knife can go in there as well. Okay, just zip that up. And then on either side you've got these smaller pockets as well that you can put stuff in, and I've got my tinder kit in the side of this one, and that's on both sides, there and there. You've also got two loops here, so if you wanted to, you could either hang things from there, maybe suspend them on a stick. Again, you could then strap those onto the outside of your pack. And then on the back side here, as I said, you've got these two Velcro straps that I used before to attach it onto my pack. But one of the beauties of this pack as well is you've also got a pull-out waste band here. So this comes out, clips together, and you can have that on either slung over your shoulder or around your waist as a waist pack. Okay, so that's the outside of the pack. Now, so we've shown you all the features on the outside, so now let's have a look at the inside of the pack. So there's a large central zip here that opens up, and the business end of what you're buying really is inside here. So you've got the three items in here. You've got the mosquito net, the tarp, and the hammock itself. Now, there's a couple of different ways of having this. You can either have it all in the central section like I've got here, or you can put them on the outside. So you could have the tarp, which is the largest part, in the front pocket, mosquito net on one end, and the hammock on the other side, or alternatively have more on the inside. Okay, so inside here is the best bit. Now, it's called Superlight for a reason, and I'll show you for why. This tiny little packet, that's the hammock. Absolutely tiny. And literally that's how big it is. That will literally fit in a pants pocket, a shirt pocket, a chest pocket of a smock. That's the hammock itself. Okay, now it says on it that it weighs 280 grams. Now, a tin of beans is 470 grams. So that is roughly half the weight of a tin of beans. There's nothing to it at all. Okay, and secondly, this is the mosquito net. Again, absolutely tiny. I mean, look how kind of much that compresses down. You know, it's just like a big orange. And that is 180 grams for the mosquito net. And then lastly, we have the tarp. Again, absolutely tiny little pack, and that is 460 grams. Okay, so all in, pretty much less than a kilo, you've got a full sleep system. So what we'll do is I'll show you how this all goes in here. So you could put your tarp in the front, like that. And in here, take the head torch out. And there, you've got the mosquito net. Goes in that side pocket, and And then in this side pocket here, you've got the hammock itself, and I still can't get over how small this hammock is. Tin the kit out. And there we go. So you've got the tarp in the front, mosquito net in the other side, and then the hammock in this side, which then still leaves you this large central pocket in here, and that's actually got another meshed pocket inside there. But in here you can have your food, knife, a small handsaw, a hexamine stove for heating your food on, all in a complete kit. Okay, so it's time to put that on the tree. So like I said, it's the smallest, lightest hammock in the world, and DD have done their research on this one, and like I said, it just fits in your pants pocket. It's absolutely tiny. So that's the hammock itself. We'll get it on the tree, but first of all I'll actually show you what's actually included in the pack. Okay, so in the pack we've got, opens up, included in the price and in the weight, the 280 grams, is a pair of tree huggers. I'll show you how those go on in a second. You've also got the hammock itself. Now the hammock comes pre-fitted with Whoopie Slings and also the soft shackle Carabiners, and also in the packet is an instruction guide from DD on how to put it all together. Okay, so let's get it on the tree and show you exactly how easy it is. Okay, so simply all we do to attach it to the tree is take one of these tree huggers and wrap it around. Now, depending upon the thickness of the tree, you're going to have to attach it different ways. If it's a thinner pine tree, start in the middle of the tree hugger, put it on here, wrap it around the back, cross it over, pull it back. Or because this is quite a thicker oak tree, wrap it around from the back to the front, make sure it's fairly even. Now in the instructions it does say, and it's quite right, in the instructions it says that when you put the tree hugger on, the tree hugger needs to sit at a 30-degree angle to how you're going to have your hammock. So if your hammock's down here, you need to have the tree huggers up higher on. On here, just cross them over, pull it tight, and there you go, attached to the tree. Okay, so now the tree hugger is attached to the tree, what you're left with is these two sewn web loop ends. Now with the hammock, it comes pre-fitted with the Whoopie Slings attached. Now Whoopie Slings are really kind of come to the fore in the last sort of couple of years or so. These have been really popular as a lightweight system, and it comes pre-fitted with this soft shackle carabiner. So all you need to do is you get the two loops, slide that through the two loops, and then pass the knot back through, and this loop's fully adjustable, this will open up, pass that through there, and then pull it tight, and that will then lock behind this knot. And there you go, fully attached onto the tree with the soft shackle carabiner. Then we'll repeat the process the other end. So we'll pass the soft shackle through these two loops again, pass it through that knot, pull it tight, and that's it, it's attached at that end. Okay, so that's the hammock successfully attached to the tree, probably all in a couple of minutes. And obviously to adjust it for height, as you do with all Whoopie Slings, there's a free tail and a fixed line. Push the fixed line up and pull the tail. Same on this side. Free line. push it up, and that's it. Ready for a night's sleep. Okay, so with regard to the mosquito net, again, comes in its own small bag. It's really light. Let's have a look. And the mosquito net is 180 grams, so again, there's absolutely nothing in it. Now, the simplest way I found to attach this is if you unhook that soft shackle end from one end of your tree huggers, and then in the mosquito net, it's got like a draw cord opening here. So if you slide the tree huggers and everything up inside the net, pull it through like this, and attach that onto the tree huggers again, just as you did before. Put the knot through the loop, pull it tight, and then pull this draw cord nice and firm here, locks on, and then just repeat the same at this end. So all it is simply is you've got the open part here, fish your hand up inside, slide it through, reattach it onto the tree huggers, pull the draw cord on, and that's it, completely attached. So there we go. The world's lightest hammock and mosquito net, all in, still under half a kilo. The next job is the tarp. Okay, so the tarp itself, it's a DD Superlight range again, and the specifications on it are it's 3 meters by 2.9 meters, so fractionally smaller than the standard 3x3 tarp, and it's 460 grams excluding the pegs. However, the tarp itself does come with 4 pegs and guidelines as well, and again it's in this tiny little pack. Now let's get it out, let's get it up. So there's the guy lines and 4 tent pegs included as well. Okay, so just a quick word on the tarp. And whilst this has been hailed as a Superlight system, I think it'd be really easy to try and sort of cut corners, and pardon the pun here, but it'd be really easy to cut corners on quality, because you're trying to cut down on weight and leave bits out. But looking at this, DD Hammocks just, they're not guilty of that at all. You've still got, these really strong, well-constructed corners. Everything's absolutely double stitched on here. There's double stitch on here. What I like as well is the fact that this stitching, I don't know how well the camera's picking up, but the stitching for this webbing is further back here, so it actually allows in high wind for this to move around kind of independently. I think if it was stitched right in the corner here, it would have next to no movement at all, and it would probably quite easily tear. But it's almost acting like a bit of a sort of shock absorber, if you like, as this can actually swing right around. And I'm sorry if the camera can't pick that up, but this has actually been able to swing right around that flap. But there's absolutely no loss in quality at all. This is stitched here, stitched here. This has got a double row of stitching across here. Extremely well made. Like I said, it would have been probably really, really, really easy for them to have sort of cut corners, but they absolutely haven't done. This is, it's as strong as my DD Hammocks 3x3 tab I've had for years and years and years. And it's only now, I've had it a very long while now, and it's only now just starting to show sort of signs of age. But this will last the duration, I'm sure of it. There's no loss in quality at all here. This is absolutely superb. Okay, morning folks. Well, it's the morning after the night before, and the final part of the review is on the DD Hammocks own brand Underblanket, and it comes in its own sort of compression stuff sack, which packs down pretty small, and it's, looking at it, it's pretty much smaller than any other underblanket that's on the market. So we'll get it up now and have a look, see what you think. Okay, welcome back to the last part of this review for the DD Hammocks Superlight range, and I've left this bit to last for a very good reason. This is the new underblanket from DD Hammocks. This is actually something they're making themselves now. It's their own branded one, and I've left this to last because we've spent a couple of days or a couple of nights in the woods and actually wanted to see if this would actually stand up and actually do the job. And I wanted to make it a credible review so we can actually find out, does it work. And I have to say I was really impressed with it. Usually on a night time when you're laid in a hammock, you have the sort of cold spots in your shoulder, your hip, your back, etc. But there was absolutely none of this last night, and it's probably in 20 odd years of hammocking, it's probably the best night's sleep I've ever had. Now, the hammock, so the underquilt itself, it's a padded material. Again, it's really, really light, and it has 8 attachment points. You've got 2 at either end, so there's 4, and then on here you've got 1 here and then 1/3 from the other end. And again, they come with pre-fitted DD Hammocks Carabiners, and they will just clip onto a central ridge line, so that way the underblanket can cocoon around you. In the centre, you've got again these elasticated shock cord cinch, so you pull that up and it brings it in again close. Same thing here, again pre-fitted Carabiners, they clip onto the central ridge line, and at the end here it's exactly the same as the other end. All I've done is simply clip these 2 Carabiners onto the soft shackle here, and that allows it to stay firmly in place. Now the beauty of having the shock cord on is when you get into the hammock and everything sort of drops with your body weight, those will stretch to compensate. Okay. Now the theory behind underblankets is really, really quite simple. The idea is when you're laid in your sleeping bag, you might have a great sleeping bag that's rated at -25 or whatever, but when you lay in it in a hammock, your body weight will compress everything, and it doesn't matter how good the sleeping bag is. And I've got one that's rated at -25, and I've still had a cold back, cold hips, so that those typical cold spots you get. The idea with this is that you hang the underblanket fairly loosely underneath the hammock, so that when you're actually laid in it, this isn't tight to your back, it's actually slung below you, and that way it creates this thermal pocket of air underneath. And I have to say, I'm really impressed with it. Like I said, 20 odd years of hammocking, and it's the best or warmest night's sleep I've ever had. And it did drop quite low last night. Obviously you've got the DD Hammocks logo on that side as well. Now that pretty much concludes the review, but one thing I wanted to say, which I thought was really important, is that when companies set out to improve something or modify something or make it lighter or faster or whatever, there's often a temptation to cut corners. And I said this when I was looking at the tarp the other day, and I have to say, in all credibility to DD Hammocks, their ethos of bringing the best, you know, it has come out with this. They haven't cut any corners at all. You know, the tarp has still got 19 attachment points. This has still got, you know, all these cinch cords. They haven't cut any corners with any of this at all. And what they've managed to do is bring probably, you know, the world's lightest sleep system to bear without cutting any corners at all. So this is certainly going to be now my sort of go-to gear in terms of overnight hammock sleeping. Okay, well, I hope you've enjoyed the reviews. I'll put a link to DD Hammocks website underneath the video, and a list of all the prices as well. Okay, thanks a lot now, take care, and we'll see you again soon.